Dr. Ken Kremer in Titusville, Florida. He is a space journalist and the founder of Space Up Close website. Thanks for being with us. Simple question first. I mean, how do you feel about the success of this cooperation so far? Did you expect it to go this smoothly?
Yes, I did expect a great success here. I was so happy that that clip you just played, Hurley, on the space station. We've been waiting 9 long years for this to happen. There's been a lot of delays, so we expected this to happen sooner. But there's been funding cutbacks and technical issues to deal with. So we finally got it off yesterday. It was great. I mean, 2 days ago, Saturday, was a great day. They arrived yesterday. They opened the hatch, and they held a press conference that you showed there a clip of just a little while ago. So it's a great day for America because this gets us back into space. We have been dependent on the Russians for 9 years because of cutbacks in funding by the American politicians. So finally, it's great, and it's commercial, built by Elon Musk. So he's really delivered on his promises.
You know, projects like this, though, used to be such massive, expensive, and so sensitive that they could only be administered and funded by governments. But, well, times have changed. They're not getting the funding they used to get. And now you've got these hybrid ventures. Do you think it's good, or would you rather see governments fully responsible for these kinds of operations?
Well, I think the hybrid venture that you just mentioned is good. Public-private partnerships. In fact, all the spaceships in the past were all built by commercial companies, all the astronaut spaceships. But NASA had a lot more oversight and direct involvement in it. Now NASA's still involved, but the companies are left to their own to develop and design it and then get it approved by NASA. NASA still has a very large input, and SpaceX had to make a lot of design changes, even in this past year, on the parachute and the Super Draco abort thrusters. So NASA is still heavily involved, but definitely it's good to have the commercial companies more involved because that will hopefully help cut the cost.
Okay, but could there be potential complications? Could this kind of cooperation run into certain issues? For example, what if Elon Musk gets an offer, you know, for some funding from Iran or an investor the U.S. doesn't consider friendly and doesn't want the results of his research being shared with? Could it run into that territory? This is a private company.
It's a private company. I don't believe Elon Musk would do anything like that. Yeah, I suppose in theory that's possible, but I don't believe that would happen. Now, I have a lot of confidence in Musk. He's building the rockets in America. He wants to employ Americans, but he also wants to work with the world. So we'll cooperatively work with the world. And he's got a mission next year. He's selling seats on the Crew Dragon, and I'm sure international people will love to buy those seats. But I'm not worried about him selling the technology to Iran.
Not necessarily selling the technology to Iran, but I mean, if Russia, it doesn't have to be Iran, but, you know, Russia or the Chinese, for example, saying, hey,
go ahead. Think they have their own. China is building its own spaceship. In fact, they're building a deep space capsule. Russia really should invest in a new capsule themselves. The Soyuz has been flying for 40 years, and it's extremely reliable, and we've been totally dependent on them for the last 9 years. So Russia should take a lesson from this, actually, to invest in their own commercial capsules. You know, we also have Boeing building a commercial capsule. But this is state-of-the-art technology. This is going to cut the cost, and I think it's really a great thing to do. But NASA has to maintain that oversight, because the real danger is cutting corners and not being safe and not being reliable. That's the real danger that I see. And SpaceX did have a real problem last year, where after that Demo 1 capsule returned, they did Super Draco abort thrusters, and it exploded. So they had to do a significant redesign of those abort thrusters. So I think that's the greater danger, is complacency and not thinking through all the dangers that can happen.
Okay.
Because it's always a danger to fly into space. It's never going to be 100% safe.
Right, and the losses can be huge. So yeah, we'll hope to see this cooperation continue as strongly and as positively as it has so far. Ken, thanks so much for being with us.